I've always been interested in the psychological effects of sculpture. It gets beyond your intellect. I am very interested in tension, maybe because I'm a rather tense person myself, but materials that have tension always interest me a great deal. Glass has tension, and glass and metal together give a very heightened tension. Making sculpture is really labor intensive, and I discovered that once I had an assistant, it freed up my thought processes. Just working faster made me think faster. I really am very blessed that I have JP and Charlie, because physically I don't have the stamina that I used to have.
So let's take a look at it.
Let's see how the roof goes. Nope, wrong way. I do want to take some of it off. The term anxious objects describe most of my work, if not all. I know we live in an anxious world. I myself was very affected by my childhood listening to radio. Growing up in the 20th century, as a Jew, as a small child, listening to Hitler's speeches, watching World War II, the effects of World War II, the Korean War, the Vietnam War. I mean, it's been a history of war. In 2002, the Museum of Folk Arts and Crafts approached me about showing the first War Toy series. And we were then involved in the Afghan War. And I sensed that another even more serious war was coming, which it did. And felt that this war had a somewhat different quality to it. It had somewhat more science fiction aspect, biological warfare, all the stuff of science fiction seemed to be in the air. And since I was working with glass at the time anyway, I decided to do an entirely new series which included glass and its reference to science and laboratories and so forth. Whether a piece is bigger than you, or the same size as you, or smaller than you, has a tremendous effect on how you perceive and react to the work. And most armaments are so large and so overwhelming and so awesome in a way their sheer size makes you unable to question them. So by making these small, hopefully you can get above it. You have this Olympian detachment or perspective, plus the empowerment that comes with being larger, so that you can move them and you can make changes. Whereas when you're confronted with these enormous weapons and the whole machinery of war, it seems like it's inevitable and that you can't change it and you can't get rid of them. They're as massive as mountains and as fixed and inevitable as mountains. Reducing the size raises the possibility of dealing with them. Putting that into words, what effect does art have on anybody? You never know. Hopefully it provokes some kind of thought and questioning, because these are, threatening, but they're really absurd, bumbling little critters. It's satire. One doesn't really know how satire affects people. You just hope it does.